JDs and Lettleman, this is Budget Pistol Battle Royale. We have gathered 11 of the cheapest of cheapest pistols available on the market, and we're gonna test them to see which is the king of the budget pistols. Oh, I just want to just dump out a big giant bag of guns.
Let's
do this. Now, if you're anything like me, guys, I've always been afraid to buy cheap pistols. I've just been afraid that I'm gonna waste my money on get some unreliable, just hunk of junk. But then I thought to myself, I was like, yo, what if there's actually a really good pistol out there that's cheap, that's under $250, it's brand new, and it's a 9mm? What if it's out there and I've never given it the actual chance? So boys, this is Budget Pistol Battle Royale. Let's talk about these guns. Now, each gun had to be $250 or less. I feel that's a very good, solid price point for a budget entry-level pistol. Next, it just has to be 9mm. Now, guys, I've had this video in the works for over a year. Yes, I've owned all of these pistols, all 11 of these, for the past year. Why? Why is it taking me so long? I've had to put 1,000 rounds through each and every single one of these pistols. That's 11,000 rounds of 9mm. Here's the thing, I can't just shoot these guns 100 times and be like, yep, good to go, bro, this is the best. That wouldn't be fair to you, and it certainly wouldn't be fair to me, nor the manufacturers who produce these pistols. Each one of these pistols I purchased with my own money. I did not hit up any of these manufacturers, did not say, hey, please give me free money and I'll show you a good video. No, not that kind of YouTube channel here. And because of that, I get to say whatever I want about these pistols because nobody owns me, and you boys are going to get an unfiltered video, not bought and not paid for, like always, that you can expect here. Now, let's talk about some of the testing protocols. First, guys, we're going to talk about the finish and the fit and the performance of these guns. How do they shoot? How do they feel? Does this thing feel like a hunk of junk? Does this thing shoot okay? How does the recoil impulse feel? And then bonus points for mouthfeel. Just kidding. Not testing that. Next, we're going to talk about accuracy. What is the precision of these pistols? We're going to get these things on a ransom rest. We're going to shoot targets at 25 yards, good stable shooting position, and it's simple. We're going to measure for accuracy. We're going to use basic plinking 124 grain PMC, and then for the 147 grain, that's Badlands Munitions 147 grain gold dots. This ammo is the most accurate ammo I've ever tested. If you watch this video right here, yeah, that's me hitting 15 out of 20 shots at 500 yards with a 9mm pistol. This ammo is super accurate. After that, we're going to talk about the actual reliability of these firearms. What I have experienced, I've kept a very, very detailed round log between all of these firearms. We've documented every single malfunction with these guys. So, you guys are in for a treat here. Let's go ahead and get started on this, boys. Let's introduce you guys to the pistol lineup. Now, it couldn't be a budget pistol video without the old Yeet Cannon 9.
It's big, it's ugly, it's got the ergonomics of a brick, but it couldn't be a budget video without the problem solver. Not gonna lie, kinda hope it wins.
Next up, guys, of course, Palmetto State Armory.
This is the Dagger, very feature heavy, RMR cut from the factory, threaded barrel, weapon mounted light rail. I'm super excited to see how this one does.
Next up, a Glock clone called FMK.
For my country. I've never heard of this brand before until we started shopping. This is a Glock Gen 3 clone. It's cut for an optic, ready for a weapon-mounted light, and it feels really solid in the hand. I have high hopes for this guy.
After that, we have Tisas.
Tisas has really made a name for themselves over the past few years. Typically, they manufacture 1911, so it's very interesting to see a striker-fired pistol coming out from them. It feels great, cut for an optic, weapon-mounted light ready. Great contender in this series.
Guys, of course, we had to have a 1911.
Had to appease the boomers with the 1911 entry. This one was very difficult to find at our price range. With a little bit of shopping, we did. Rock Island, 1911 9mm. Seems like a solid entry, although I must say, I don't have terribly high hopes because cheap and 1911 usually doesn't go hand in hand.
The Keltec.
Keltec is renowned for their budget-friendly firearms. This one here, no exception. Under $250, weapon-mounted light ready, red dot sight ready, seems like a solid option. Nice, slim grip on it, high round count, could be a good one.
Good old American Ruger.
The Ruger Security 9, made in Prescott, Arizona, USA. Seems like a pretty solid entry into it. We do have Ruger's name, and Ruger usually puts out quality firearms at affordable prices. Initial impressions are solid. You've got a weapon-mounted light rail, and it feels good in the hand. Might be a good one.
I feel so secure right now. Next up, this looks like a CZ75 clone. It is
Sarsilmaz SAR-B6, a CZ75 clone. Probably going to be a good entry, being that it is copied a very successful handgun design in a proven handgun design. It feels a little cheap. Plastic grip doesn't feel like a very good polymer, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be a great entry. I have high hopes for it. I think it's going to crush.
Smith & Wesson SD9.
Another legacy American manufacturer, Smith & Wesson SD9. Peanut butter, flat, dark earth, tactical drip. This one does feel really good in the hand. Seems to have a really good trigger. Index points for a little thumb clip there on the frame. Weapon mounted light ready. Could be a good one.
This is the Taurus GX4 XL.
One of the latest additions to Taurus's lineup. This is like a CCW kind of gun. It also really reminds me of the SIG P365. I can't say if it's a clone or not, but it looks very similar, and takedown is very similar. I do have kind of high hopes for this gun because it feels very solid. Not exactly feature rich, no optic cut, no weapon mounted light, but it seems to be good. And last but not least, the Springfield Armory XD Mod 3. This gun has been out for a long time. This is their budget flagship model. Tons and tons of these XDs are out there. There's actually 3 different mods.
So, now you met the contenders. Let's the testing begin, boys. So first things first, guys, let's put these pistols on paper. Let's see what kind of real accuracy that we can get out of them. Now, I know what you're thinking. This gun's not a part of the test, right? No, we're not going to measure this against these guns, but we do need a control group for the accuracy part of this test. We need to see, hey, what does a really expensive gun shoot? And then, of course, what can I shoot? Like, what am I capable of? So we're going to put these things on paper at 25 yards. We've got our target set up all the way down there. I am going to be right here with the ransom rest.
Now, me, Bob, and Tom here, we love cheap guns and we love aim surplus. Guys, go to the 2A industry. They get the cool stuff nobody else cares to get. Mom and pop shop kind of vibes with a huge online nationwide presence. Just great people. That's small business supporting small business. That's what this is all about.
I am shooting for hopefully 3 inches or less with the budget pistols. If we can get that, I think that's really good. So let's go ahead and get started with this guy here. Okay, so we shot our baseline metric here with the Accuracy X. How about that? Now that's not too bad. Not gonna lie, sub 1 inch groups at 25 yards, that's really solid. The Accuracy X is doing 0.82 inch shot group between those two 5-shot groups. So 10 shots, 0.82 inches. Now, let's measure the rest of them.
right, so we did them all. Let's talk about the groups. Now, coming in at dead last, these were pretty bad. Not gonna lie. 11.87 with the 124s, that's really bad. It did really well with the 147s though at 3.68. That gives us a mean average of 7.75 with the FMK. Coming in at number 10, boys, 8.58 with the 124s, 6.6 with the 147s, a mean of 7.59 inches. That's coming in at 10. Number 9, we have a drastic drop off between 11 and 10. Coming in at number 9, we have the SAR. That is a 4.25 inch shot group. Not too bad. Kind of impressive considering $250 pistol. Coming in at number 8, 4.24 with the Keltec. Number 7, 4.06 inch group. That's the high point. Coming in at number 6, the Springfield XD, 3.57. Number 5, boys, that's the Taurus, 3.29 inch average shot group. Pretty solid. We're starting to get in some really good territory here. Again, 3-inch shot group, sub 3-inch shot group at this distance, I think that's pretty acceptable. That's actually really good in my opinion. Coming in at number 4, the PSA Dagger with a 3.28 inch shot group. Pretty solid, but not the best. Coming in at number 3, Tisas 3.005 inch shot group. Number 2, these guys right here, they're pretty decent. These are very impressive. Smith & Wesson 2.67 inch shot group. That's really solid. I'm very, very pleased with that. I think with the conditions that we're shooting in and, well, being a very cheap pistol, that's very acceptable. But number 1 is the Rock Island 1911. Was not expecting this. I expected like a cheap 1911 to be fitted kind of bad and shoot really bad groups. Guys, average shot group, 2.14 inches. That's really good. That is extremely acceptable. Definitely was not expecting that at all. So,
and it started snowing on us. We had to put a jacket on, grew a mustache. Now, guys, we have to talk about reliability. One of the most important aspects of owning any firearm is that the gun goes bang every single time you tell it to. If it doesn't matter whether if you're at the range with your homies, mag dumping in the trash, big fan of that, or your life depends on it. This is like a CCW kind of gun. The gun just has to go bang. So what we did is we kept a very detailed round count here in my handy dandy notebook. Every single malfunction I have documented in here with the 1,000 rounds that we've put across every single one of these pistols, and I want to talk about it. So first up is the FMK. This guy here, man, we had a lot of trouble with the FMK. 68 malfunctions out of a documented 1,000 rounds. That is a failure rate of 6.8%. Boys, that's really bad. That is just simply put, that's unacceptable. Every single failure is this one that you see right here. It just fails to extract. I can't say it's a magazine issue. I don't think that's the case because it's not pulling the actual spent case out of the chamber. 68 of that exact malfunction. That's bad. That's just simply unacceptable. Next up, we're gonna talk about Palmetto State Armory. With Palmetto State Armory, we had 29 malfunctions out of 1,000 rounds. While that's better than FMK, that's still not good. The malfunctions that we've seen were kind of all across the board. Failure to extract, failure to feed, rounds nose diving, rounds not being ejected out of it, kind of doing a little stovepipe thing. There was no exact same malfunction, just kind of sporadic. I was able to use some Magpul mags, but I also used some Glock mags as well. That didn't help at all. So that's a 2.9% failure rate. And then of course, the high point. How many malfunctions did you think we had with this thing? I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised with how little malfunctions that we did have with the high point. You know, these things have a terrible reputation of just being like cheap drop guns, throwaway kind of pistols. We did have malfunctions, but not nearly as many as I thought we would. Only 11. And I shouldn't say only 11 because that's not good, but also at the same time, I can't hate on it for that. It's not good, but it's not bad. We report, you decide. Next is the SAR. I still don't even know how to pronounce this. Sarlamaz. Yeah, 9 malfunctions, which is, that's not good, but that's also not bad. So 0.9% failure rate, that's semi-acceptable. All of the malfunctions were just silly little failures to feed. Just didn't want to get up that ramp, kind of just got stuck right there. The Springfield, yes, the Springfield had 9 malfunctions total. So 9, not great, also not terrible. It's a little frustrating because you're close to like a 1% failure rate, in which case I think that's kind of not acceptable in my opinion. Next is the Ruger SC9. This is a weird one because
every single one of the malfunctions, I want to say is mag related. It simply just would not feed it. And what's interesting is if I put a little extra pressure on that magazine, when I go and like drop it from slide lock, that's where all of these malfunctions happen, was just dropping it from slide lock. If I put a little extra pressure on the magazine and then drop the slide, then it would work. So I don't know if it's a magazine issue. I don't know if maybe they cut the button that retains the mag, we're in the wrong position. I'm not too sure. Might be out of spec, but we do got to report these failures. So we have the Tisas PX9. 6 malfunctions total is what we've got written down here. So all of these malfunctions, I really think were magazine related because it's all failures to feed. Now, it's not to say that it couldn't be something wrong. You know, maybe the feed ramp could be polished a little bit harder, but again, we're able to change mags and completely stop that issue. So therefore, we kind of isolate it and say, like, maybe it just shipped out with a bag mag. It's very possible. I can't really say, but we did have malfunctions and we got to talk about it. Next is the Keltec. We have 3 total malfunctions with the Keltec. I think that's pretty solid. While we don't want any, 3 malfunctions for a $250 gun, I could say that's pretty acceptable. We really want 0, but 3, okay, I can live with that. Next is the Rock Island 1911. This one really surprised me because I like 1911s, but I thought for sure this thing was going to be a hunk of junk because cheap 1911s, they usually just don't do the thing. They're usually just kind of riddled with issues. And 1911s require a little bit more attention to detail than like a Glock clone, for instance. But this Rock Island 1911 9mm had zero malfunctions. I'm just as surprised as you are. I thought for sure it was going to be a hunk of crap. 0 malfunctions. I don't have anything better to say about that. Next is the Taurus, the G4XL, another gun with 0 malfunctions. Fantastic, absolutely crushing it. Like, well done, Taurus. Like, 0 malfunctions, that's perfectly reliable for 1,000 rounds. I love that. Next, the Smith & Wesson SD9. 0 malfunctions. 0 malfunctions report. Very solid from Smith & Wesson. Nothing to complain about there. So, guys, we have talked about the accuracy and the precision of these pistols. We've talked about the reliability of these pistols. We have to talk about the final rating. Which is best? What's going to be the best budget pistol on the market, period? And let's just do it, boys. So, a little bit of an audience here. Coming in at number 11, guys, there's just no ifs and buts about it. With the amount of malfunctions that we had, we have to place this at number 11. That's going to be the FMK. The thing of it is about the FMK is we have a feature-rich kind of gun. It's optics cut. We've got a spot to get your weapon-mounted light on. It's about the size of a Glock 19 and is a Glock 19 clone. It feels really good. Like, it's not a bad feeling pistol, and it actually shoots pretty decent when it actually does shoot. And that's the problem. It's got to shoot. We can't put this thing any higher than dead last with the amount of malfunctions that we had with it. So FMK is going in at number 11. And at number 10, guys, we had to do the Palmetto State Armory. Another gun that's very feature rich. Optics cut, RMR cut, weapon mounted light ready. It's got a threaded barrel on it. I mean, it's a great value for the price, but we can't put it any higher than number 10 because we had 29 malfunctions with this firearm. And it's very frustrating because, like, it does feel good. It seems like a relatively solid gun, and again, feature rich, but 29 malfunctions is absolutely unacceptable, especially when you're talking about a Glock clone. This is like a Gen 3 Glock clone. It's frustrating because, like, you are copying one of the most reliable platforms out there, and you can't get that right, and that's frustrating because our 2 Glock clones are literally some of the worst performers. So at number 10, Palmetto State Armory. Moving into number 9, we have the Sarzala. Man, they're gonna hate me if they watch this video. I'm sorry I butchered your name, but guys, at number 9, we have the SAR. While it only had 6 malfunctions, it still had 6 malfunctions out of 1,000 rounds, which is just not an acceptable kind of failure rate. I think my biggest thing that happened with this gun is that it just sucks to shoot. It is such a terrible shooting pistol. I want to say it's like a CZ kind of clone, but it does not shoot like a CZ clone. The trigger pull is just terrible. It is just absolutely awful, and it feels really bad in the hand. I just can't describe it how awful it kind of is. It just shoots like crap, terrible recoil impulse. There's a very, very cheap polymer grip on it, so when you shoot it, it just doesn't feel the same as like a regular CZ. I don't know. Another weird thing too is, this is just like a CZ thing, but you don't have a lot of room to manipulate your malfunctions, just manipulate the slide. Right here, it's just a very, very small amount. So usually I'm just like grip and rip it kind of thing. But like, you can't do that because like you're grabbing too much of the frame. You don't have a lot of room to work with. So you kind of just have to like pinch it. I don't know. I can't place it any higher than that. It's a very, very bad shooting experience. A lot of recoil for a 9mm, and we did have some malfunctions. So let's talk about number 8. Coming in at number 8, the Keltec P15. Honestly, a gun that doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel great. The reliability wasn't even that bad. I think we had a total of, 3 malfunctions total, which is relatively low. We obviously want 0, but 3 is semi-acceptable. The problem with this gun is that it's very uncomfortable to shoot. A lot of recoil, very, very small grip module. It even has like the 1911 style hand safety here. I think that's just kind of silly. I don't know. It does have some feature-rich options on it. Your optics cut ready to go. You can get a weapon-mounted light on it. Those are all major pluses, but the actual performance of the pistol is so miserable that like I couldn't put it any higher than number 8. So Keltec P15, I don't hate it. I just, I'm far from loving it. So let's talk about number 7. The Springfield comes in at number 7. This is the XD Mod 3. Another just kind of weird gun, a very clunky gun to shoot. You can't shoot it very fast. It feels like a brick in the hand. Feature rich, optic cut, ready to go. It's got a pick rail for your light. Weird, again, the safety like the 1911, for a striker fired pistol, it's not necessary whatsoever. It shoots really bad. It has a terrible recoil impulse. We did have 9 malfunctions counted with this thing. It's not bad. The shooting experience isn't terrible. It's just not great. I can't put it any higher than number 7. So let's move on to number 6. Coming in at number 6, guys, we have the Ruger Security 9. Not a terrible shooting pistol, not a great shooting pistol. Controls are kind of weird. You do have like an external safety on here, and like it's I think it's kind of like a striker hammer gun. I'm not too sure exactly how this thing works, but a decent shooting experience. It does have a rail for your weapon mounted light. It's not optics cut, but it shoots pretty decent. We did have 8 malfunctions with it, but the finish on it is really bad. It's an okay shooter. I mean, I don't know. The finish is really bad because it rusted just off of my like hand oils on here. Like this gun actually has rust. Finish, that doesn't really mean much to me, but it is something that we do have to point out because we are grading these things. Overall, not a bad gun, but here's the thing. That's where we have to put it. And coming in at number 5, you guessed it, boys, it is the High Point Yeet Cannon. So here's the thing. Is this a good gun? No, not really. We did have some malfunctions with it. It's not super accurate, but here's the thing. Not every gun needs to be serious, but every gun you own needs to be seriously fun. And this thing is seriously fun. Actually, what's kind of funny is it ran better with the can on it than without the can on it. 0 malfunctions with the can. You take it off, gets a little dicey in there. That's where we had all the malfunctions. I mean, the gun's not good. It shoots like a brick. It holds like a brick, but it's so much fun. I mean, first of all, they let the internet name this thing, so we got to give them points for that. I think number 5 is that's acceptable. I think that's a good spot for this thing because it is a ton of fun. It's a great meme gun. It's much cheaper than the rest of them. Number 5, High Point. Number 4, guys, Tisas. The PX9 Gen 3. This is a feature-rich gun. Guys, we have a red dot sight cut. It's ready for your weapon-mounted light. You've got a flared mag on here. The gun itself, it feels pretty nice shooting it. I'm not gonna lie, it shoots better than what you think it would shoot. You can shoot it pretty fast. It's good recoil impulse. The gun stays nice and flat. I don't hate this firearm. Like, I don't hate it at all. I think this is a good safe spot for it. At number 4, I think this gun, it shoots really well, and for the price point, like, it's really hard to be beat. Now, that leaves us with our top 3. The top 3 is very, very important here because I want to say these top 3 firearms, I would have 0 qualms trusting like my life to them and running them because I have 0 bad experience with these top 3 firearms. These top 3 firearms have been dead nuts reliable. They're accurate. They feel good. They shoot good. I just like them. I've had a very, very good experience with these things. A very positive experience with these top 3. So these top 3, these are the ones that you need to watch for. If you're looking for a budget gun, these are going to be them. So this gets tough. Coming in at number 3, it was really a toss-up between 2 of these. I think it's like they almost tied, but we had to make a final decision. And it's going to be number 3, the Smith & Wesson SD9. Honestly, not a terrible shooting pistol. It feels really good. It's got good grip texture on it and everything. I can shoot this gun pretty fast. It was very, very reliable. 0 malfunctions out of 1,000. That really takes this thing up a notch, is that we did not have a single malfunction out of this firearm. Magazines are nice and metal. We have super cool flat dark earth tactical drip. It's a little unfortunate we don't have an optics cut on it. It does have your weapon mounted light rail on there. It's one of those guns that if you get it for the price point, its reliability, it's a Smith & Wesson, so you have that good customer service and that good warranty. It's one of those things that it might be worth looking into getting the slide cut if you are on that kind of budget that says, hey, I can't spend more than $250 on this gun for right now. It's a good gun. Like, it is a good gun that I am going to keep, and it's great. Now, we get to the top two. These top two, I'm telling you, this was very tough and also kind of surprised me. I shouldn't say kind of, very, very much surprised me. Let's talk about what comes in at number one. It's honestly really hard to say. And like, these are two totally drastically different firearms. Like, here's like a big old honkin' 1911 5-inch gun. Here is like a subcompact CCW kind of gun. It was very difficult because these two had exceptional accuracy, like way better accuracy than I ever would have imagined out of a $250 pistol. But for the sake of it, like, we have to declare one the winner. And it's got me, even right now in this moment, I'm still confused. So, number one, we have to go with the Rock Island 1911. Exceptional accuracy. Such a great shooter. Such a great shooter. This thing is so smooth. You can shoot it so fast. Trigger blew me away. This feels like a $1,000, $1,500 pistol trigger. Crisp, fast reset, very predictable break. It's phenomenal. And it looks good. Yeah, it's very simple, but I kind of like that about it, is that it is just very simple. It's just, this gun truly blew me away. Truly blew me away. I thought it was gonna be a malfunction machine, just a hunk of junk, rattle trap. It's fitted so well. Like, I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it for the price point. And I really think that that's what makes it number one. It's very, very shootable. Put a red dot on this thing, it's so worth it. This becomes like a cheat code machine. It is so flat. It shoots so flat. I'm truly blown away by the actual performance and just at the price point of this firearm. Rock Island, you deserved it. It's definitely number one. So let's talk about number two. This is absolutely a phenomenal firearm. I would have never expected this in a million years, that a Taurus was gonna be the number two gun. This gun was dead nuts reliable, zero malfunctions. And look at the accuracy. The accuracy was extremely good. Like, it was very acceptable accuracy. I almost wanted to put it at number one because it's a little bit more practical. This just could be used as a CCW. Like, I would carry this gun. I have carried this gun. Like, I've put this in a holster on my person and CCW this. That's how much I trust this firearm. And it's like, I'm just really blown away. I did not expect that. Trigger, fantastic. Really good striker fired trigger. Not that mushy grill lighter Glock kind of trigger. Very crisp. The gun, you can get it shooting fast. And not to mention, good recoil control. Like, it's not super snappy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very blown away by this gun, and I think it's really earned its spot at number two. So, guys, we have a wrap on Budget Pistol Battle Royale. This was such a fun series, and I'm really surprised by how this all played out. To be honest with you, I would have expected some of those guns that came in dead last to come at number one, but that's how the cookie crumbles. So, JD's and Letterman, I appreciate you guys spending time with me here today and watching this video. As always, run your gun, not your mouth. We will catch you next time.